Not foreshadowing. Welcome back to False 9 TV for kind of a part 2 to my top 5 favorite kits and my least 5 favorite kits, I guess. As you can see, I'm wearing the same thing, and that's because I filmed this literally right when I said I would, directly after I finished the other video. So, again, let's talk a little bit of criteria here. The only thing there is to know is these are my 5 kits that I like looking at the least, I guess you could say. It's not that I hate these kits, it's just they're just not visually appealing to me. That's all there really is to it. So I want to lead with that because I don't want to upset anybody, because some of these kits mean a lot to certain people. Whoever designed these kits clearly obviously worked really hard on them and was proud of them. It's just not my cup of tea. That's all there is to it. So for all the negative Nancy trolls out there, I'm sorry to feed you a little bit here, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into today's video. So number 5, and I do recognize that there are some things from past eras that maybe look a little goofy to us today. You know, like for example, I don't really like long sleeves. I don't like big sleeves. I prefer more fitted type kits, and this is not one of those. And we're going back to 97-98 away kit, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to flat out say, first of all, red is one of my least favorite colors ever, especially this shade of red. And I don't like when Crest are in the middle of kits. That's just one of my things that I don't like. So this has the big arms, the crest in the middle, and I don't really know what's going on there with the neck, but it's just way too much for me. And there's just a combination of things that I just don't like in a kit. That's really all there is to it. If this were more of a modern kit, I probably wouldn't dislike it as much, but nonetheless, I don't think it holds up the test of time, at least in my visually appealing type of eyes. So number 5, I've got the Food Town away kit. Now at number 4, I'm just going to say that the late 90s, early 2000 home kits weren't my favorite. Now, only one of them made this list, which is the one we're about to talk about, but one of my main complaints about that era was I'm all for exploring on away kits or exploring on third kits, but I don't really like when you mess with home kits. And during this era, we had the Dixon sponsor, which had that orange color to it, like yellowish orange color to it. And there were about, 4 or 5 in a row that didn't incorporate any kind of, well, I don't want to say it didn't incorporate any kind of red, but this particular one, which was the 02-03 one, took out all the red. And it's black and white, which, again, should be there, but there's too much orange in this one. And to me, that's something you don't do on a home kit, at least in my opinion. Again, that's just my opinion. And they went a little bit too much orange for this. And with the orange pinstripe, the orange collar, I can't really tell if the arm trim at the bottom of it has any orange on it, but it's also around the crest. It's just one of those things where why mess with something that's clearly working? And I don't know what the reaction, obviously this is well before I really knew anything about football. I don't know what the reaction was at the time. So if you are of a certain age group and you do know what the reaction was to these, let me know in the comments, because I'm curious to know if the reaction to these were good or bad. But to me, looking back on it from a 2025 set of eyes, I don't get it. So for that reason, it comes in at number 4 on my list. So coming in at number 3, I've got a kit that actually lasted 2 seasons. as an away kit, which is from the 08-09 and I believe the 09-10 season, which is this kit right here. And there are a handful of reasons that I don't like this kit. Um, but the number one being is it just doesn't look like it belongs in this era. I'm all for throwing it back, like we did this season with the away kit. But unlike this season, I think we made it look amazing. But I can't say the same for this one. Um, and 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 again, I do hate to talk negative about, especially about something that our club did. But to me, it kind of looks like a Pepsi kit, something Pepsi would sponsor, because I don't know. I really don't like the white swirl there at the top. If this was just a plain red and white kit, I don't think I would have that strong feelings about it, because it would just kind of go unnoticed to me. But because it is kind of just there, right, slapping you in the face, it does make me notice a lot of things that I don't really like about this kit. But yeah, so we'll go with number 3. Whichever year you want to choose doesn't really matter to me. I'm just going with the 08-09. So let's see what my top 2 least favorite kits are going to bring us. Now, number 2, I've got this right here. Trying to be nice. Now, I want to first say that purple is my favorite color. And as odd as it is for a guy to say, pink is my second favorite color. And I think if pink is done correctly, it can look absolutely beautiful and stunning. I think QPR has had a good, which is like actually right there. I think QPR had a nice away kit that was pink. Palermo in Italy has some pink kits that look amazing, and even Inter Miami. Say what you want about them, they've had a decent looking pink kit as well. But this one does not fall in any of those categories. There's, I think, 2 main things that I just really, really dislike about this kit. The first one being the sponsor just does not mix with pink. And yeah, it just does not look good on this kit. And the second thing that I dislike is the design of it. I think they were doing okay with the pinstripes or like I guess the stripes at the bottom, but then it just kind of stops and goes into this. It almost looks like another shade of pink. And and I forgot to mention, this is from 17-18, which really wasn't that long ago. Not for me. Just not for me. If you like this kit, I'm sorry, but just not for me. And looking at this website that I've got this pulled up on, it's got a 1.78 rating. So it looks like the majority of people really didn't like this kit either. Although, again, that was before I was on X that much. So I'm not really sure what the population majority was on this one. But no, sir. Let's get into my least favorite. Now, my least favorite kit, and I know I've actually seen a lot of people say they like this kit on X. So I know this one's going to rattle some people. But I want to make this clear. Even my least favorite kits, I would be honored to have on me or on my wall. Let me make sure I say that. It's actually paining me to be negative about some of these things with our club. And I hope you all can see that through the camera. Because, again, this is someone's hard work that I'm almost criticizing. And I don't feel good about that. But this is just for video sake. Now, my least favorite kit of all time, the best I can describe it in my eyes, is when you need a bandage, you take, and not just because you're being a baby, but when you actually needed a bandage, you wrapped your hand up, probably something in your arm or your knee, take that bandage off, and you get this. I'm sorry to say it because, again, I have seen people love this kit, but it does have the collar like I like, but I'm not feeling the design. It's too much for me. Now, if this was a goalkeeper kit, probably wouldn't even think twice about it. But because this was the actual this was a worn kit. This was I believe the third kit in 1992-93 season. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that, just because I don't want to be any more negative in this video. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Thank you. And if you did make it this far, drop me a like, drop me a comment, hit subscribe if you haven't already. I really, really do appreciate that. And just remember, if you did make it this far, if I get 500 subscribers, I'm going to get a tattoo of the crest on my leg and not tell my wife, just because I know she's not going to make it to the end of this video. So hit subscribe if you want to see her reaction with that. So anyhow, I don't know when this is going to drop, but whenever it does drop, hope your week is going great. Hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you get some good news that you've been waiting on. Peace out, guys.